The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened within minutes of the discovery, something that hadn't happened in 3,000 cycles. Representative Zixtar of the Velcron Confederacy stood at the central podium, his crystalline body pulsing with barely contained anxiety. Around him, holographic projections of the Council's most powerful members flickered into existence, each wearing expressions that ranged from confusion to outright terror. "Explain yourself." "Zixtar," demanded High Arbiter Mulrith, her 6 eyes narrowing.
"Why have you triggered a Class 1 emergency protocol?"
"The last time this happened, the Devourers were at our borders." Zixtar's translator struggled to convey the tremor in his voice. "We have completed the linguistic deep scan of Earth, as mandated by First Contact protocols. We have discovered their planet's true name." He paused, his light dimming. "The name in their oldest, most widespread tongue, and?" Mulrith's patience was wearing thin. "They call it dirt." The silence that followed was absolute.
Then chaos erupted. "Impossible!"
shrieked Ambassador Veental, his tentacles thrashing. "No species names their homeworld something so crude." "The translation is accurate," Zixtar insisted, projecting the linguistic data into the chamber. "We cross-referenced 17,000 dialects: Earth, Terra, Ground, Soil. In every major language family, the name translates to the substance beneath their feet. They named their world Dirt." Council member Thrasiak, a being of pure energy, crackled ominously. "Do you understand what this means? Every spacefaring civilization names their homeworld something meaningful. The Velcrons call theirs First Light. The Mulrithians chose Eternal Haven. The Andromedans selected Prime Genesis. These humans," they looked at their entire planet and said, "Yes, this is acceptable to be called dirt." "It gets worse," Zixtar continued, pulling up additional data. "We've analyzed their cultural archives. They don't find this strange. When we asked Ambassador Chen about it during preliminary talks, she seemed confused by our confusion. She said, and I quote, 'What else would you call the ground you stand on?'" High Arbiter Mulrith leaned forward. "What are you suggesting, Zixtar?" "I'm suggesting that these humans have been living on a planet they casually named Dirt for their entire evolutionary history and somehow became the most aggressively ambitious species we've encountered in 4 sectors. They've gone from atmospheric flight to interstellar travel in less than 2 centuries. They've colonized 3 star systems in a single generation. And they did all of this while living on a world they couldn't even be bothered to give a proper name." The chamber erupted in argument. Some demanded immediate isolation protocols. Others suggested accelerated integration before humanity could become a threat. A few simply advocated for running in the opposite direction. Ambassador Krelnix, representing the warlike Draxian Empire, raised a clawed hand for silence. "I have studied human military history," he growled. "Do you know what they do when they encounter something more powerful than themselves? They don't surrender. They don't negotiate. They study it, adapt to it, and eventually overcome it. They did this to each other for millennia. Now imagine that drive turned outward." "This is speculation," protested Veental. "Is it?" Krelnix pulled up footage from humanity's first contact with the Zelnari traders. "Watch." The Zelnari captain tried to intimidate the human vessel, as is their custom. Standard dominance display. "Do you see the human captain's response?" She laughed. She actually laughed and said, "You're going to have to try harder than that." Then she outmaneuvered a ship twice her size and made the Zelnari apologize. Zixtar nodded grimly. "We've also intercepted their entertainment transmissions. They have entire genres dedicated to humanity overcoming impossible odds, defeating superior forces, and thriving in environments that would kill most species. They call them documentaries and historical dramas, but they might as well be instruction manuals for galactic domination. What do you propose?" Mulrith asked. "We befriend them," Zixtar said simply, "immediately, enthusiastically. We make absolutely certain that humanity considers us allies, because I do not want to see what happens when a species that named their homeworld Dirt and still built a civilization decides that we're obstacles." Council member Thrasiak crackled thoughtfully. "The Velcron makes a valid point. Consider, they achieved nuclear fission and immediately used it as a weapon. Then, instead of destroying themselves, they built thousands more and simply agreed not to use them. What kind of species develops world-ending weapons and then exercises that much restraint?" "The kind that scares me," Krelnix admitted. My people have conquered 40 systems through superior firepower. These humans have a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. They haven't even fully explored their own star system, and they're already talking about terraforming other planets. They want to make more dirt? Ambassador Chen's face suddenly appeared on the main view screen, interrupting the session. Hello, council members. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important, but we've just discovered something fascinating in the Alpha Centauri system and wanted to share it with our new friends. Her smile was genuine, warm and somehow terrifying in its innocence. The council members exchanged glances. Zixtar stepped forward. Ambassador Chen, we would be honored to hear about your discovery. The council was just discussing how to strengthen our bonds with humanity. That's wonderful, Chen beamed. We were hoping to establish a joint research station. We have so much to learn from you, and we're eager to contribute to galactic knowledge. After Chen's transmission ended, Mulrith addressed the council. All in favor of immediate and unconditional friendship with humanity? The vote was unanimous. As the council members' projections flickered out, Zixtar remained at the podium, staring at Earth's coordinates. A species that called their world dirt and reached for the stars anyway. He wasn't sure whether to be inspired or terrified, probably both.